a busy time for Johnson Controls, JCI, the diversified industrial company that operates in a host of different end markets. JCI makes everything from heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems to power management systems and security equipment. The company also makes batteries for cars and trucks, including both old-fashioned lead-acid batteries, as well as rechargeable lithium-ion batteries that you find in hybrids and electric vehicles. Now, you know I've been a big fan of the stock for a long time, but the Johnson Controls of today is a very different company from the Johnson Controls of even a year ago. In fact, just in the last 2 months, there have been two major developments. First of all, in September, the company closed on its massive merger with the remainder of Tyco, giving them a lot of exposure to security and fire safety. We love those businesses. Plus, this was a tax inversion deal that lets Johnson Controls change its domicile to Ireland, which is a much lower corporate tax rate than the U.S. Second, in November, the company spun off its automotive seating business, separate entity called Adient. More on that later, but suffice it to say, I think this was a smart move. I've been pushing for a long time. Now, while the stock hasn't done much since the election, lagging the broader market pretty dramatically, it's worth remembering that Johnson Controls is still up roughly 50% since we learned about the Tyco deal last year. That's a pretty fabulous gain. So could the stock be ready to resume its march higher? Let's check in with Alex Molinaroli. He's the chairman and CEO of Johnson Controls, Inc., to get a better sense of how his company's doing, where it's headed. Mr. Molinaroli? Welcome back to Mad Money. Good to see you, sir.
Good to have you.
Thank you. Have a seat. Thank you. You know, there's been so much transformation here, and there's been so many good businesses that you really have a chance to dominate: building controls, power solutions, fire security. Which are the most exciting for you looking forward to 2017?
Well, first I'd tell you it's just good to not be introduced as an automotive company.
Yes.
You know, we've been at this for a while, and we're finally there. It's Adient's a great automotive company, but it's somebody else's company now. Right. And so when I look at our future, and you look at where we are with building controls, fire alarms, security systems, you can't get anything but excited about that. You know, you just look at the end markets and what's going to happen. It's pretty exciting.
I guess we know that the millennials they're on always want to have less energy use. That's you. Yep. And at the same time, we're never going to roll back fire and security regulations.
That's right. Yeah, well, part of it's a regulated business. Right. And then you think about security. I mean, you can't, it's not necessarily a good thing, but the world that we live in has become more and more important. Right. And then the interconnecting of all these devices and all these things that are going to happen, that are happening with your phone and happening in your home and happening in your car, it's going to happen in commercial buildings also.
Now, do you think, you know, we've seen Amazon develop devices and we've seen Google develop devices. How far along are we in terms of commercial in developing devices?
Well, you know, I think that it becomes very intuitive when you think about your home. It's pretty easy to figure out what you would do. When you start thinking about commercial buildings and how they're applied, you really got to get intimate with your customer. Your customer will tell you, here's how I'm going to operate my facility, here's how I'm going to operate my business. How does technology play a role in that? And that's what we're learning.
Okay, let's talk about batteries. Our viewers are so interested in electric batteries, so interested in the future. Is it really coming along fast enough? Is it something that will move the needle for JCI?
You know, that's the question everyone has. And they've been having it for the last 5 years, right. Last 10 years. And there's going to be a place for electric vehicles. It's going to happen over some period of time. Mm-hmm. But when you look at where the reality is around the technology and where the reality is around the current car park, it's going to be a ways off.
Okay, I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people, I don't want people owning this stock because of that. I want them owning it because of HVAC and because of security, because these are the issues that dominate now. You've got, we're all focused on the new administration, and you've got a lot of overseas business. Worried about trade wars versus the compensation of perhaps being able to bring back income?
No, I'm not worried about that. As I look at what's happening in the world, and I think about our business, most of the markets that we serve, we actually manufacture and deliver in the markets. So we're not moving products from country to country as much as you'd think. We actually manufacture and serve the customers where they are.
Okay, let's talk about innovation. I regard you as a technology company, and both these companies have a long history of technology. What are some of the things that you've got in the pipeline that you think maybe not move the needle, but are exciting for our viewers?
Well, you know, if you just look at, think about the retail experience. We own a bunch of companies in the retail space. It actually came with the Tyco merger. Okay. And when you go in and buy a sweater, in the past, there's been security tags on these sweaters. Well, that's a piece of technology that does nothing more than keep track and make sure that you walk out with what you purchase. Right. But now we've been able to repurpose that technology and look at not only what it is that you have, but the inventory, what's selling, being able to provide information, data back to the customer so that they can move the products that they need to move, help them with their supply chain. It's a whole different business because of the data that we can extract from a technology that was just put in place just to protect the
This sounds like a store of the future where, unfortunately, maybe fewer people are needed, but fortunately, you'll be able to do a lot more supply chain planning.
For sure. I mean, if you just think about the efficiency gains, but not only the efficiency gain, but what sells and what doesn't sell. Right. Where do you place it? How do you market it?
Gotcha. Now, I was concerned about the debt. You've got a lot of floating debt. Can we fix that now before rates get out of control?
Oh, for sure. Well, I'm not too concerned about that. If you think about where our debt is and the cash flows that we have as an organization, we're going to be in good shape. All
right, very good. I just think that you're core to what people might want to own in this environment where we have a faster growth worldwide.
I appreciate it.
All right, very good. That's Alex Molinaroli. He's the chairman and CEO of Johnson Controls, Inc., the international. They've done a lot of the things that we've wanted, and I think it's all working out. Mad Money's back after the break. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.